One of the things we always do if we're super self-aware is we always have to feel the need to play things out to the end. We can't just let things happen. We have to know how it's going to end by running the scenario, the simulation through our brains. And this ends up with us not really taking risks in life. It's like, oh, I meet this person or I had this opportunity and there's this, and this reason that I figured out for why it's likely to not work or why something is going to go wrong. And so I won't try. It's like that kind of thing. You go through this sort of calculation in your mind of all the ways it can go wrong, because there's always more ways that can go wrong than ways that can go right. And so you decide that it doesn't make sense and it feels logical, so you don't go for it. Problem is, this level of self-awareness that we can't control, unfortunately, this level of self-awareness ends up cutting us off to opportunities, because what I reckon is true for you, as is true for me, a lot of the best connections I've had with people in life, a lot of the best experiences that I've had in life, came from me doing things that technically didn't make sense. Technically had a million reasons why it would be more likely to expect this to be a bad decision rather than it being something that I should do. So it's this weird balance that we have to deal with when we're someone that just thinks a lot about everything, that sometimes we have to try and just find a way to calm it down a bit. And I don't think there's any magic bullet for this. I think this is just the way that we are. If we're someone who is very self-aware, we're going to overthink things. Like, you can't tell someone who overthinks stuff, as much as people do tell people that, you can't tell someone who overthinks stuff to just not think so much or just not pay so much attention. It's like telling an alcoholic, not an alcoholic, because I don't think it's an addiction. I think it's more of just a tendency. It's like telling a car not to make noise. Like, that's just how they're designed. So as much as people want to say, oh, just stop overthinking, just let it happen, it's a lot easier said than done. We have this is just the game that we have to play. Figure out how to let ourselves be in the moment a bit more. Figure out how to just breathe and make our move, make something happen, try something, even though there are obvious reasons that you can see, obvious to you, maybe not obvious to most people, reasons why it might not work out. And that's another funny thing, is that a lot of people don't see the things that seem so obvious to us. If we're someone who is the type to just pay attention to every little detail of a situation, whether it's to our benefit or not, we end up seeing things that it gets frustrating, because it's like, why can't other people see this? But then the people who don't see these things end up actually going for it, and sometimes they end up with really positive results. Like, for example, if someone's going for like a relationship, they might end up living happily ever after. You all know those people who lived happily ever after with someone who, if you hear the story of how they met or like how things were going in their early life, it's like, why on earth did they ever think that this was a good idea? But then when you know how the story went, you're like, oh, of course it worked out. Like, I couldn't imagine them not working out. So it's just how life is, I guess. We have this weird scenario where a lot of the best things that you could experience as a human being, the experiences that involve some sort of emotional investment, where it's like, this could not work out, this might work out, and if it does work out, it's great. If it doesn't work out, it's actually quite bad. Like, these things that actually have quite a high risk end up being the things that have the biggest reward. We all know this. But when you're so self-aware, taking risks doesn't just mean facing your fear. It also means going against your logic. It means going against real reasons why something shouldn't be done or might not work out, or it just isn't worth your time. That's the biggest one, I think. Is that a lot of the things that you will encounter, a lot of the opportunities, job opportunities, a lot of people you meet, it will seem like it makes sense to just not pay any attention to these. It'll seem like it makes sense. It'll seem like these things are a waste of time. There are a lot of things that seem like a waste of time that end up being great, but you didn't know it. There was no signs of it in the beginning. There was only signs of how it could go wrong. There was only signs of reasons why it's not a good time investment or money investment or just opportunity. So that's the main thing I want to say, is that if you're someone who is very self-aware, it's very hard for you to just let things work out or let things not work out. And it's just something that we have to navigate around. I found that when I am able to just go without thinking, which is still hard, like it takes actual effort, which I think is the main thing for us, is that it just takes effort to actually go for it. Yeah, things always go better than I expect. So that's what I would encourage, and that is what I'm trying to do a lot more of. But it's easier said than done.